5 entrepreneurs sitting in front of the same problem, all of them responding completely different. So they've all put together an amazing proposal for their ideal client. They're happy with it. They've done the research. They hit send. Poof, off it goes. Within a reasonable time frame, they don't hear back. The client doesn't respond, doesn't call. There's no sign of receipt. So these 5 entrepreneurs respond in 5 completely different ways. First one thinks, I'm going to make a better proposal. I'm going to prove my value. I'll send another email. Second one thinks, oh my gosh, maybe it's in their spam. Maybe they didn't get it. Starts obsessively refreshing their email, looking for that response. Third one would go into complete avoidance. I definitely don't want to seem pushy and absolutely not chase it up, not approach them again. Fourth one would think, how can I add value? How can I offer them more? Maybe there's this bonus thing that I can also tag on top. Fifth one would collapse in a little bit of despair and panic there. This is not going to work out. I knew it. I'm just not good enough yet. I'm not yet at the level to play with this client. I need to just back away and keep face. Right? Maybe none of these responses are exactly warranted. Maybe there is some value to all of these approaches. Maybe a mix of them would be a good thing to do. I don't know. But did you recognize yourself in any of them? Did you recognize that you've got like a go-to strategy? Something that would most often sound true for you? And I mean, it's not only that business decision or that client, that proposal where these strategies apply to. It could be your child needing something from you, or your spouse asking for a conversation, or anything that happens in life. We all have this default favored pattern that we tend to use. Which one of those sounds most like you? And when it comes to business, we can start fixing this problem often from the completely wrong place. Or maybe not wrong, but kind of we take it the long way around, because maybe we want to learn how to organize ourselves better, or wonder what we can do to increase our confidence, or our maybe our communication strategy needs to be refined, or I don't know, we start playing with these productivity hacks and strategizing more. And in the process of that, maybe you consume another YouTube video, or color code your Notion, or I don't know, organize your Dropbox and just keep busy doing something. But are you actually learning new skills that are relevant, or are you escaping the entire situation and just keeping busy and not really doing the thing that would bring you a result? Or do you maybe work another 12 hours to create that bonus offer? Maybe the client asks you for more information, more of something already before you are even in a working relationship, and you just go ahead and spend another 10 hours on creating a detailed quote, which, by the way, in itself could already be such value to the client. Maybe that could be a billable act, I don't know. But these are patterns that once we see them, once we recognize them, once we acknowledge them, that they exist, we can't unsee it. What happens is we get choice. Once we recognize them, then we have a choice to do something about it. Here's a favorite of mine that applied to me quite a long while. Calm versus numb. When you are invested in being cool, calm, and collected, and you suppress anything that could disturb that, you're going to suppress all of it. The joy, the excitement, the enchantment, the enthusiasm, the creativity, all of it. And you actually become flat, numb. This is when life stops feeling like something. So these patterns, we save so much time and so much energy when we go down below the surface and we look at the root of these patterns. Why am I obsessively refreshing my email? Why am I keeping busy, not doing that one thing that's gonna move the needle? I'm busy all day long, but I didn't send that proposal. I didn't pick up the phone and have that conversation or record that video. Yeah? These patterns are coming from your nervous system. They are all survival strategies. This is what fight, flight, freeze, fawn and flop look like in your day-to-day when somebody has a meltdown. When the figures at the end of the month look like you've had a quiet month. What pattern is triggered? How do you habitually respond? And for me, the mistake is to start fixing the behavior instead of going into address the root first. Because otherwise, if we are going straight for the behavior, then we are just layering things on top. Maybe moving further and further away from ourselves. Not really able to support ourselves to become more, expanded. This is actually a good way to think about it. Is this choice, is this behavior expanding me or contracting me? Because when you are in survival, when you are responding from stress, it's always a contracted state. Tunnel vision, less creative choice, more control on how the outcome needs to look. Is it shrinking your life or is it expanding you? So the idea of regulating your nervous system and getting these automated patterns to settle down, it gives you choice. That's the name of the game, so that you can see clearly and you can choose. And if any of this feels uncomfortably familiar, you are thinking you are just being productive, but actually are you just in fight or flight? If this is uncomfortably familiar and you think that these patterns might be actually running your life and your business decisions, then you are exactly the kind of person that I created my free workshop Inside Job for. And I would love to see you there. It's not only about talking about the nervous system, it's also an experience where you get to feel what it's like to stop striving and stop controlling for a moment and move into choice. Once you know what that feels like, you'll be able to choose it easier going forward. This workshop could be the thing that changes the trajectory of your business or your relationship, your life. Hope to see you there.